Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We got a little NBA bit for you. It's Monday. We got an exciting week, huh? It's just nothing but good energy, I'm sure. Nothing weird will happen. Everything will be normal. But on the basketball side of things, we got some fun stuff to catch up on. We got every single freaking team is playing basketball tonight. Every single one of them. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll cover over this weekend's news and NBA action, just some business stuff up top. Hey, thanks for being here. Like the stream, subscribe to the video, do all those things. Subscribe to the channel. We're back over on Elite Fantasy Hoops this afternoon for two different things. We've got a VIP show earlier in the day, doing some ranks and all that stuff for the daily action. Underdog's got some crazy slates tonight. We'll talk about that towards the end of today's show. And then we got live before lock for game week 5 over on SORARE NBA. And then we got a lot of stuff going on. Okay. We got the Hoop Sense episode dropping later today. What else do we have? We got 89 Cavs returning. 2/3 of the 89 Cavs were live at Barclays Center for just sweet action of the Brooklyn Nets and the Detroit basketball Pistons yesterday afternoon. We got some sweats to talk about. We got a lot of stuff going on. So make sure you're tapped in. Tap in, who do we got in the chitty chat? I see Sneeps is here. Oh, happy birthday to Tyrese Maxey. Thank you, common man. Jalen Johnson. We'll talk about his ascension. We got Super Carl 3DKs up in the house. We got Snoopaloop, biggest bullish Patty Coins here. Sneeps is okay. Playback for Celtics Hawks tonight. And then we go Vincent. Let's go. Are we locked in on the daily contest? What are you thinking? Listen, you guys want full disclosure, and then I promise we'll talk straight NBA. No more so rare stuff, but I did not set my lineups on Friday, so I exclusively did dailies. I was so locked in on live before lock with our guy Worldwide Wop that I myself forgot to hit submit, and it was terrible. But I am excited when you're talking about the dailies because the Emirates Cup starts a week from tomorrow, I believe. We've got some fun content things around that, but that is where my focus is going to be. My focus is really going to be there. So we're going to drop some cash. All right, let's get into it. We've got some stuff to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. Hold on, we got to share screen this way. Bang, let's go. We had some drama this weekend, huh? We had some drama. I'm going to go over to actually, you know what? Let's start with the Embiid stuff. I wasn't going to, but let's start with the Embiid stuff. So I don't know if we talked about this on the show or not, but there is an article from a guy who I think sucks, and he sucked for a while. Let me see if I can find the actual tweet here. Sam Vecini is not the guy that sucks. I do like Sam Vecini quite a bit. But here it is. So this is the author, something Hayes, I think, for the Philadelphia Inquirer. This is what he wrote, I want to say a couple weeks ago. He said, Embiid, I think, or maybe a month ago. Here we go. Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son, Arthur, as the major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great, to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. Then, well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up to work. Like this, it's so wild to me. It is so wild to me to include some stuff like that when you're just saying, hey, it would be nice for Embiid to play more games. That was the take, right? His take was like, you know what would be cool? If our best player played basketball games. I think that's a fine take. I think that's a fine take. What the hell are you doing in that first paragraph? Those paragraphs don't even come together. They don't make sense. And so anyways, this came out a couple of weeks ago. Of course, there was a lot of backlash to it. Rightfully so. And then this weekend, I don't know if it was the first time that Embiid has seen this man, but a little bit of an altercation. I'll go over to, let me share Shams' tweet here because I thought he did a better job explaining it. I had quote tweeted somebody who brought it up, who was like the first one to report it, and he called it an assault. And then what ended up being, here we go. Let's share this again. Vincent saying didn't see what he wrote. That's unhinged. Same thing, man. Because all I saw was the reporting that there was an assault, and I was like, what's going on in Philly? And then Shams was like, 76ers Joel Embiid got into an altercation with a columnist following tonight's game in Philadelphia. Embiid took issue with the recent column that references late brother and son, and Embiid shoved the columnist, did not punch. I'm not saying we should go out there and hit people. All right. Maybe it's because I'm 5'7", 140 pounds. So there's very few scenarios unless I'm beating up a child. And even then it's a coin flip where I'm like pro violence. I'm okay if this guy got punched. Like, I would have been fine with it. I don't think he should be fined. And if I'm Adam Silver, if I'm the NBA, what I'm doing with this fine is I'm making it like $25. So, right, they can at least say, hey, listen, he was disciplined, but it should be done in a way that is like barely disciplined. And I know people will twist that and be like, well, then you're setting the precedent that anybody can beat the shit out of a media guy. I think if we all took a deep breath and a step back, I think if we did listen, we're voting on Tuesday, right? If you're in the United States or if you have commit election fraud and you're out of the country, we're voting on Tuesday. I think we should add something to the ballot. So listen, United States government, if you're listening right now, let's add something to the ballot on Tuesday when we vote in America. Can we all just agree that this guy should get punched and it's fine? And that it's not a precedent. We don't want anybody else to get punched, but maybe this guy gets punched. I think we'd all be okay with that. I think we would be okay with that. So I'm pro Embiid. When the first report came out, I didn't realize that that's who it was about. I was like, man, what is going on with Philadelphia? They're down so bad. Embiid hasn't played yet. Paul George hasn't played yet. Good news for Philly. Embiid just shoved that guy, and Paul George is playing tonight. Embiid's not playing yet, but Paul George is. So I thought that's good. Now, not so good here when we're staying with the Sixers. Let me go back over to the worldwide leader, ESPN. As we look at the standings here, if we scroll all the way down to the Eastern Conference, two teams we're going to talk about right now. Philadelphia 76ers, 1-4. Milwaukee Bucks, 1-5. They are the two teams right now down the worst. The Sixers won their first game and then have since, oh no, I'm sorry. It was the Bucks who won their first game and then dropped 5 straight. The Sixers stole one game out there and then have lost 4. It is just tough. It is just tough for Philly. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. There we go. Super Carl said Embiid was already having a bad day. There was so much drama in Philly. Vincent said, can we make this? Let's do a power slap. Who's in charge of the power slap? Let's do the power slap. My money's on Embiid. But anyways, Philly in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, PG is back tonight against the Phoenix Suns. He's making his return. I don't know if that broke late last night or early this morning, but that's good news. But the Bucks are in a whole another world of hurt. They actually played Cleveland pretty well. Let's go over to some of the scores from over the weekend. We're going to kind of pop around over the weekend. On Saturday, they played the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this was a 1-point game. And shout out Donovan Mitchell, who, I've had some remarks on before in the past. Excuse me, and he hit a big time shot as time was with 0.3 of a second left to give them a 1-point lead after kind of missing a bunch of shots down the stretch. But he finishes the game with 30 points because that is what guards do to the Milwaukee Bucks. They go for 30. Mitchell had 30 and 4. Darius Garland 11 and 10 in that game with a double-double. Jared Allen with a double-double. You had Evan Mobley, who just did a bunch of stuff, 14, 7, and 5. And then now on the Bucks side of things, man, Giannis goes for 34, 16, and 9. Dame goes for 41 and 9. If you just looked at the box score and you saw that Giannis put up those numbers and Dame put up those numbers, you're like, they for sure won a game, right? Wrong, because they got 16 from Taurean Prince and then 10 from Bobby Portis, who shout out Bobby Portis. I hope he gets his stuff back. I don't know if you guys saw this. Bobby Portis got robbed while he was playing basketball. Come on, guys. Leave Bobby Portis alone. The Bobby Lobby. If there's one guy I'm not messing with, it's Bobby freaking Portis. But the Bucks, man, I don't know what the answer is. Now, this wasn't a terrible loss if they didn't start. If they weren't 1-4 and they lose this game, not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But because they haven't been able to string together any sort of W's, it's a little bit more concerning now that they just pile up another another L, even though they got like A+ performances from both Giannis and Dame. I mean, Dame was incredible in this game. He went absolutely off. Vincent in the chat saying Cleveland is just so balanced. Yeah, I mean, they really are. Like they've got 4 different guys every single night, and they're doing this without Max Strus, who's injured right now. Karis LeVert also got ruled out of that game, I believe, right? So they're still not full strength. They were playing Sammy Merrill, 22 minutes, Okoro with 28, Georges Niang with 21. But yeah, Milwaukee's just in a little bit of trouble. Snoop saying Doc is so bad. I mean, there was the clip, the screenshot taken from the game where like Doc is sitting with his arms crossed next to Darvin Ham with his arms crossed. It's like, who's next, right? I just don't know what the answer is from Milwaukee outside of Chris Middleton coming back. Now they play again tonight here. They play again tonight against the Cleveland Cavs. This one, that game was at home. Now Cleveland is going to be at home. And let's shout out like Cleveland kind of in segment 2. We're going to bounce around between segment 1 and segment 2 here. Here, I'll switch it though, because I know Homies is going to want that. Cleveland 7-0. 7-0 Cleveland. Just continuing to stack W's here early on. Best record in the league right now. Just a hair above OKC because they played more games. But another big W coming up. Regulator says trade Dame to the Heat. Let me ask you this though. Like, what kind of trade value does Dame have? I mean, I think Miami would be like open to the conversation because I don't think it would cost nearly as much as it costs for Milwaukee to do that move, you know? And it's easy in hindsight to take a look at it and be like, the Celtics got Drew Holiday. They won a title. They looked dominant to start the season. And, you know, Milwaukee doesn't. Oh, God, that trade's something else. You know, if Milwaukee just didn't panic, right? You know, that Giannis was hurt when Miami took him out. And shout out to Miami for winning that playoff series. But, like, I don't know if they needed to go full blow it up, but hey, we'll take it, man. We'll take it. So we'll have to pay attention to Milwaukee tonight against Cleveland. That should be another fun game. Let's stay with the drama. We're going to go to, how about our guy Christian Brown, who put Rudy on a poster? But then, before we dunk on Rudy so much, although that dunk was sick, it really was a sick dunk. Since after that dunk happened, this was in the fourth quarter. What is going on with this website, ESPN? After this Christian Brown poster, according to Tom Ziller, Good Morning It's Basketball, this was Friday night, excuse me. The Timberwolves go on like a 17-6 run. Rudy hits 2 clutch free throws down the stretch to get the W. And Minnesota comes back and wins this one 119-116. And Minnesota, who was kind of winning the whole game, fell apart a little bit in the fourth quarter and then still bounced back and got a pretty big W there. Jokic was awesome again, 26 points, 13 boards. Jamal Murray got a concussion, only played 22 minutes in that game. I don't know if it was confirmed. He was in concussion protocol. He ended up missing the next night against the Utah Jazz on Saturday, and I believe he's already been ruled out for tonight's game as well. But Jokic was awesome. Michael Porter Jr. was awesome. Russ was fine. But Minnesota, man, Ant-Man, 29-4. Randall gave him 23, 7, and 6. Rudy with the 17 and 14. And yes, even though that Christian Brown gave him an absolute body bag, for Rudy to bounce back up and just cook was pretty impressive. I want to share. Let me see if I can find this quickly. I don't know if I retweeted it or who I shared it with, but I think I put it in the Discord. So let me see if I can find it. Incredible reaction. So after Christian Brown bodies Rudy Gobert, Rudy kind of puts him in a headlock a little bit. There's like a weird headlock from it. And Russ just comes flying at him, just absolutely sprinting at Rudy. The reaction is just beautiful. I've sent too many messages over the weekend, but I think I'm getting closer. And there was also a great clip from this game. Here we go. We got it now. So shout out the Twitter account Courtside Dave. All right, hold on. I'm going to share screen one more time. So after the dunk, there's just like this weird tie up here where Rudy's got his arm around Christian Brown's neck, kind of. Ready? Watch Rudy realize Russell Westbrook's coming at him. Oh my God, his eyes just like, ready? Watch his eyes blow up. Oh shit. I mean, Russ is terrifying. That would scare me too. That is terrifying. Why do so players get? Yeah, Rudy. I mean, because you know why? You know why? And I don't want to make this a Rudy defense. Rudy's one of the few guys that will contest everybody, though. You know, he really will. He'll contest guys. I'm underwater. Oh, it's because it's because there was audio on the video. That's why. My bad. I should be back now, I think. My bad, guys. My bad. But a really good win for Minnesota. There was one other thing about Denver that I wanted to talk about that I forgot already. But anyways, Jokic is good. Jokic is good. That's the takeaway. Shout out to Minnesota. Good win for them this weekend. There was some other. I want to talk Celtics and Hornets over the weekend. So the Celtics win both games. Jaylen Brown actually is undergoing an MRI on a hip injury. Hopefully not serious. Celtics don't seem too concerned, but anytime they go over, anytime they're saying we're doing an MRI, that's kind of a big deal. Celtics win both games, but the thing I want to talk about, Grant Williams, man. Grant Williams out of nowhere just runs over and slams Jason Tatum at the end of the game. Tatum didn't go out and say anything afterwards. He was pretty mums the word about it, but Jalen said some stuff. Also, this is kind of a fun thing about Jalen winning a title. He seems to be very comfortable talking his shit now. Did the podcast with Stephen A. Smith, did Spicy Hot Ones, whatever, on YouTube's with Sean Evans. And then like after the game was just kind of, he just like went at Grant a little bit. I just like that he's talking his talk right now. It's a lot of fun. I hope he's okay. But the Celtics win both of these games against the Hornets. They were able to rest some guys as well. They play the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Celtics have only dropped that one game so far this season to the Pacers. Yeah, JB is going to be in the starting five next season. That's true. You know what I was saying? We need Mazzulla in the starting five. I'm more interested in Joe Maz. Get him. That's psycho. He is nutso. Regulators said even if Grant was retaliating against the push against LaMelo by Tatum, it was too much. It didn't make sense. Like it looked like one of those things that happened that if there's video of it, you spend the next 10 minutes trying to figure out what started. Like it just seemed out of nowhere. But anyway, some drama this weekend. I feel like that was most of it. Let's see some of the other scores here over the weekend. I think that was kind of it. Was there any other big results on Friday? We got to talk about OKC here in a second, just because they continue to be very good at basketball, continue to be very good. The Magic we talked about the Paulo news. Magic gets smoked by the Cavs and then smoked by the Mavericks. That's kind of a bummer. It is kind of a bummer for Orlando right now. Hopefully they're able to, just tread above water. I want to talk about Toronto here for a second, who, they're still losing games, but Toronto is fun. They lose this one to the Lakers. They're 1-5 on the season so far, but RJ and Jakob Poeltl are absolutely balling. I think Emmanuel Quickley is out again tonight. However, it seems like he's going to be back soon. The fact that they keep let me see, is Quickley out? Quickly out tonight. Yeah, he's doubtful still, but in fact, it seems like he's getting a little bit closer. 2 wins for. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss this? Sorry, this didn't update. I thought this was. They won on Saturday. Who did they? Oh yeah, who did they beat on Saturday? It was overtime, right? They beat the Kings in overtime on Saturday. Can't believe I forgot that. That helped me win some money. Regulator back to Grant Williams was saying, wonder if this is why Grant has been traded twice. Yeah, I mean. He doesn't seem like he's a fun hang. Would love some truth serum in the Hornets locker room to see how they're feeling about it. Everybody was kind of surprised by that. Dude. Well, you know who I want to talk about here for a second? Grady Dick, man. Grady Dick. And if you were tailing on Underdog when we were talking about best 16th round picks, and that Grady Dick was going to get an opportunity to play good basketball because they were without RJ to start the season, then IQ, then Scotty Barnes is missing some time. This season, man, he in year 2, right? Year 1, he shot 43% from the field, 36% from 3, 88% from the line, averaged 9 points and 2 boards. He's gone from 9 points to 21 points. 21 points. I feel good, man. I feel good about the Grady Dick call. Honestly, guys, my late round picks have been incredible. I've had some misses for sure. But Grady Dick and Bilal Coulibaly. I mean, let's do Bilal Coulibaly here for a second too, guys. The Wizards, I've got a social clip coming out about this hopefully later today. The Wizards played the Heat on Friday. I think they played tonight too. They lost 118-98. This game is in Mexico City, which I was so confused why I was starting late, and then I figured it out after. Bilal Coulibaly now, 8 for 12 from the field, 4 for 6 from the line, knocks down 2 threes, 22 points, 8 boards for Bilal. And again, nobody cares about the Wizards, but another league pass team that's kind of fun because they're losing a lot of competitive games. He, again, last season averaged 9 points a game. In year 2, averaging 19 points a game, a 10-point increase. He's getting 6 boards a game, almost 3 assists a game. And then, of course, he's like a defensive juggernaut. Coulibaly, Grady Dick, been a lot of fun to follow this season. So good on them. Good on them. Let's go to the OKC Thunder. The Thunder had a big win over the Clippers. I believe that was their only game this weekend. That was a fun one to sweat as well. James Harden continues to do Harden stuff. This game stayed pretty competitive until the last 4 minutes of the game. And then it was funny, man. Ty Lue and the Clippers, I don't know if they like just saw the writing on the wall, but they waved the white flag a little like I feel like it was a 10-point game with 4 minutes left. Maybe it was like, yeah, because it ended up being a 13-point win. They just kind of gave up with 4 minutes left. I don't know if James Harden was rubbing off on Ty Lue or what, but Chet Holmgren, again, another double-double. Give Chet some love, man. He's really been popping this season. 10 points, 14 boards, couple stocks in there. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, just another ho-hum performance, 25 and 9 for him. You got 15, 7, and 4 from J-Dub. All 5 starters in double figures. Aaron Wiggins got the start. He dropped 12. Lou Dort, let's do a Dort report. He had 16. Let's give him a little Dorty and then hit him with a little reporty. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. And to go back to Tesla Darko showing his chops. Yeah, dude. I mean, the Raptors are fun. I think you're in a good situation right now where it's just going to be a lot of fun losses. But Pirtle and RJ look awesome right now. Good development. Mogbo. But anyways, back to OKC, man. Just really good stuff. Good stuff. They haven't lost yet, 6-0. I feel like they haven't even been in like super competitive games either. Norman Powell gave him 24. Harden didn't really shoot the ball well. 4 for 13, 2 for 9 from 3. He went for a double-double, 12, 3, and 7, but then also put up 3 steals and 3 blocks. Clippers kind of coming back to earth now, right? We all, myself included, was like, maybe we got the Clippers wrong. Maybe we underestimated Ty Lue. Big Zubac is James Harden going back to Houston. Maybe we are all wrong. And now they've been pretty bad since then. So, Regulator said, did you see Manu dunk this weekend? No, I didn't. That's crazy. And Manu's 47. God, we are all so old. But anyways, good win for OKC. They keep rolling. Let's go to the Bayside. The Golden State Warriors, man. That's another one I'm going to take an L on. The Golden State Warriors. They're just out there doing this shit without Steph Curry right now. Steph Curry should be back tonight. It sounds like he's going to be back. Did they play 2 games this weekend? I keep wanting to say this game week. Did they play 2 games this game week? No, it doesn't look like they played on Friday. So just Saturday. Let's go to why is this website sucks right now? Maybe I'm too zoomed in. Let's go look at Saturday if it will allow me to. All right, here we go. So on Saturday, we had the Golden State Warriors take down. Did they not? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on here? Oh, here we go. They took down the Rockets in overtime, 127-101. Man, I said it on the Athletic NBA show. I said it on a bunch of different podcasts. I said it on my own show. I've said it everywhere. I was like, why is everyone freaking out about Buddy Hield? Buddy Hield couldn't even crack the rotation for the Philadelphia 76ers, but now he goes to Golden State. Wow. He's averaging 22, 4, and 2. He's shooting 51% from 3. He's shooting 50, 50, 90 right now. 51% from the field, 51% from 3, 90% from the line. Buddy's been doing it, man. Chimp saying people think Buddy will fall down when Curry comes back, but when Steph does his magic, Buddy's going to be alone. And like Chimp, I don't think he's going to continue averaging 22, but I mean, even if you told me he was going to average 15 to 18, this is great. Tessa said seriously, though, is it Philly that is much of a toxic environment? You know what, though? Buddy wasn't really doing this for the Pacers either before he got traded to Philly. So that's why I was out. If it was just on the Philly stop, I probably would have been like, oh, this will be good. But he kind of tailed off at Indiana, and maybe it's just because he was constantly in trade talks. But I was really out on this, man. I was really out on the Buddy stuff. And he's been great, man. He's been great. In this win against Houston, he came off the bench, played 32 minutes off the bench, 6 for 10 from 3, goes 27 and 7, also had a block and a steal. Kuminga in 26 minutes, 23 and 6. You had Draymond have a 14, 11 and 3 game. You had Wiggins, who finally returned, didn't really do too much, but still gave him 15 and some stability. Podgod with 12, 6 and 5. Everybody doing a little bit of everything for Golden State. And I still can't figure out like how good this team is right now. So they are 5-1. And we go see, like, I know they beat, if we scroll all the way down to their schedule here. Oh, why? This guy's website. So they beat the Clippers. That's preseason. Excuse me. They beat Portland by 36. Then they beat Utah by like another 30 something. They lose to the Clippers. They beat the Pelicans twice and then Houston. So if we want to pour some cold piss, I don't know why would we do that. We look at that schedule, and if we go back to the standings, the Pelicans are another team that's stumbling out of the gate, right? So Portland 2-5, Clippers 2-4, Pels 3-4, Houston 500. Don't underestimate the Clay drama. Yeah, I have to take an L, though. I really didn't think Golden State was going to be this competitive, and it's still early, and maybe in the same way that we're freaking out about Milwaukee and Philly and they turn it around, maybe they like slow down. But the West, man, it's kind of a weird conference right now, and I think we all assumed that, it would be pretty tough throughout, and maybe it is. It's just like there's more parity. Like OKC, Phoenix, and Golden State have a little bit of movement here. Dallas looks great. The Lakers the Lakers keep winning games. The Grizzlies are over 500. The Kings seem a little funky, right? I know they beat Atlanta on Friday, and then back-to-back Toronto. So it was Vince Carter night, which that was a really cool celebration. I don't know how many people saw the Vince Carter stuff, but that was great. And then there was some DeMar DeRozan Drake drama. Hey, Drake, listen, man. The Diddy stuff kind of saved your life, right? The Diddy stuff comes out. We all stop talking about it. We stopped talking about Drake and Kendrick because we got other stuff to focus on. I would just lay low, man. I would just lay low. He had some comment about like if DeRozan's number gets retired, he'll climb up there to take it down. And I think DeRozan, the post-game press conference, was like, that would be a long way. Like that'd be a long way to climb or something like that. I would just be quiet. Also, speaking of Kendrick, I was at the Brooklyn Nets and Detroit Pistons basketball game. Let's do a drop. Let's do a drop for that because Detroit got a win. Justin was so happy. Detroit basketball. Detroit basketball. All right, so we're at the game and we have great seats. It's Sunday. 3:30 start time, middle of NFL season, New York City Marathon's going on. Why am I at this game? Two bad teams. Around the third quarter, I think, maybe it was towards the end of the second quarter, they have a kids dance team come out. I wanted to say it was called the Brooklynettes, but it's not. I think that was the female team. It wasn't the female team. It was the adult dance team. Anyways, the kids dance team comes out, and they do a number to they not like us. It feels weird having kids dance to that. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It kind of feels wrong. I feel like I can't explain it, but there was something inside me when that happened that made me uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I was looking around. I was like, is anybody else a little uncomfortable with this? Everybody was fine though. Maybe they were just happy it came on. I was like, I don't know if we should. There was a kid that was like, the youngest kid had to be like 6. I don't know. Snoop saying the Brooklyn Nets are actually the basketball team. It's the Brooklynettes, like Raisinets, spelled like that. Anyways, in person who is enormous? Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren is incredible. However, the thing that makes me nervous about him, he ended up finishing with a good game. I think he had like 12 and 18 or something. The thing that makes me nervous about Jalen Duren, for the first half, the Nets just threw Dorian Finney-Smith on him, and it was fine. Like he couldn't do anything. And I was like, you're way too big. But he looks enormous. Cam Johnson, he looks fun. Cam Thomas looked really frustrated. Cade's turnovers looked bad in person. I know Detroit got the win, but they looked bad. All right. Anyways, had to go on that. It was just uncomfortable. I don't understand why they did it. Duren was scouted as a mini Dwight Howard he looks good. Anything else sticking out in the West? The Spurs have 3 wins already. That's actually kind of surprising. Wemby feels like he has a great game and then a mid game, great game, then a mid game. The Eastern Conference. Let's actually go to the next thing here. I wanted to talk a little. The tank is on. The tank is on. Segment 4. Let's make sure we move the cryon. The tanks is on. I forgot I did that for this one. This is so embarrassing. Let's do a mental health check. That's too embarrassing. Unbelievable. Monday morning energy. You kidding me? I'm just not going to do it, guys. And it feels good to not cave to the chat because I am the boss. Like I said earlier, I'm in charge today. I am in charge. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. All right, so if we're looking at the Eastern Conference, the teams right now leading the way with the tank, I don't think either of these teams have their picks, right? I think OKC has a pick swap with Philly as well as the Clippers. I think they get like the worst of all of them. That might be wrong, but I don't know. And then Milwaukee, I'm pretty sure they don't have their pick either. So that's a dumpster fire. You see Detroit and Toronto. I think when everything shakes out, you will see Detroit down here. You will see Toronto down here. Washington has 2 wins this season, both of them against the Atlanta Hawks. They are definitely going to fall down here. Hornets, I think, are a pretty fun, competitive 2-4. I like what the Hornets are doing. They seem to be like a better coach team. Matty Harrison said Jalen Duren is way more drumming than Dwight Howard, unfortunately. Wow. I think Duren's going to be okay. I do. I think he's still young. I think it's hard to get a real feel for them. Imagine the Pels getting Cooper Flag with the Bucks pick. Oh, so the Pels have the Bucks pick, and then the Spurs have the Atlanta Hawks pick. And Atlanta, I'm not really too concerned with them. They're 3-4 to start the season, but there's just a lot of chicanery down here. A lot of chaos. With these picks and teams not owning their picks. But Brooklyn, too, I think is also a little bit of a surprise. Brooklyn's a little bit feistier. That's what I'm most surprised by so far. Again, like 7-8 games into the season, the teams that I thought were going to be bad aren't, at least early. Maybe they're all Utah jazzing us right now, but like the Bulls are 3-3. They're hanging around. Atlanta's 3-4. Brooklyn's 3-4. Wizards 2-3. Like, it's very surprising to see the Sixers and Bucks. And now Sixers and Bucks aren't going to stay there unless they freak out, but they're going to come back up. I mean, Paul George returns. Bucks should get Middleton back hopefully soon. On the West side of things, it's been just Utah. Shout out Utah. Utah's steering the ship right now. They're like, we need to lose these games, and they're doing it. Lauri Markkanen's already missed time. Clarkson's missed some time. Taylor Hendricks, that gross thing that happened. But the Jazz, firm believers there in the tank. Clippers, just a reminder, they don't have their pick either. OKC just like licking their chops right now. Trailblazers 2-5. Can't believe they have a couple of wins. And then the Pelicans look funky, man. Pelicans look bad. Tesla said Jordy as a coach won't let his teams be god-awful. Yeah, I mean, he has a good handle of stuff. I was surprised they lost that game yesterday. I don't know if it was like mid-afternoon stuff. They're also like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons not doing back-to-backs. He's already been ruled out tonight. Regulator said 76ers could tank and keep their pick. It's top 6 protected. Okay, thank you, Regulator. Thank you. I don't think they will do that. I think after extending Embiid, signing Paul George, you cannot tank. But yeah, anyways, let's look at what do we have for tonight? So tonight, as I was saying, every freaking team is playing. We have no basketball on Tuesday. No basketball on Tuesday because proud to be an American. Also, John Oliver, I don't know how many people of you guys saw that. How many of you guys saw that clip of John Oliver from a couple weeks ago? That song, and I'm not remembering the guy who's singing that I'm proud to be an American, or at least right? That song, he also did a Canadian version. Isn't that crazy? I'll find the clip. I'll put it in the show notes after. I don't know how many people want to see that, but he wrote a Canadian version of that. I know we got some Canadians in the chat. Did you know that? Do you guys, Lee Greenwood, there we go. That's crazy. And then he basically just chat GPT'd it. Was like, let's change this word to Nova Scotia. That's crazy. All right, let's go back. Sorry, that threw me off. All right, this is the action tonight. We got some good ones. Milwaukee and Cleveland. Can Milwaukee stop the bleeding? Cleveland 7.5-point favorites. Giannis is questionable tonight. This line makes me think they are assuming Giannis is a no-go. So there you go. You got that. Golden State against Washington. Jordan Poole, baby. The pool party, but it's at Washington. Not as exciting. Also, note the staggered start times here. 7:15, 7:30. Let's get them all in. That's what she said. Los Angeles Lakers against Detroit basketball. There we go. Also, $14. You can go to this game. Milwaukee at Cleveland for $14. Where are you? Boston and Atlanta. We got Memphis at Brooklyn. Grizz 5.5-point faves. Sacramento at Miami. Two weird teams to start this season. Honestly, two weird ones. Utah against the Bulls. You got the New York Knickerbockers against the Houston Rockets. Also, Knicks only favored by 1.5. That kind of surprises me too. Charlotte at Minnesota. Rudy and Randall. Let's get a regular season. Rudy and Randall should absolutely eat tonight.
A regular season Randall.
There we go. Yeah, go check out the King. Go see him. You might as well. You don't get many more opportunities to do it. Orlando at OKC, which would have built to be like this awesome defensive game, but now no Paolo. Just kind of a bummer. Portland at New Orleans. Oh, God, just gross. Zion's questionable, too. We got Indiana at Dallas. This actually should be fun. Dallas on a back-to-back, so I can see the Pacers like hanging tight a little bit. Toronto at Denver. Rematch of a couple nights ago. That was an overtime game, I believe, right? That's when Jamal Murray hit the up and under to send it to OT. No Jamal Murray already for tonight. Philadelphia at Phoenix with the return of Paul George. And then Wemby against Webata Zubac. So that's what we got. Yeah, no big dick Nick Rich tonight. So who have you been throwing out there? I meant to pay attention to that, but I didn't. Is it just Grant Williams playing like big-time minutes? I wanted to pop over to Underdog because your boy... we had a good weekend. We had a good freaking weekend. No, we're not going to quote R. Kelly. My bad. Let's go back over to Underdog. Grant is starting 5. Yeah, Rudy's going to go nuts. Let's go over to results here. Let's go to Saturday. All right, so Saturday we took down the crossover. We took down the crossover here with an 8-point gap. Look, and I want to shout out. I hand built this draft. This one, actually, I think Overzet ended up being in this draft because I remember we were trying not to draft together. We had the Sabonis RJ overtime. Thank you. Sacramento and Toronto get to overtime. Sabonis goes for 56, 51 from RJ. Dame time was 61. But the key to this slate was Jaren Jackson Jr., who was basically free. Shout out Nez from the Badge Bros. He dropped 49 in that one. He was like a 5th-round pick, and then Garland against the Bucks. So had a nice little sweat. We had a second team get into the money too. And then in the main tournament, we got very close. I actually think I tied with John Boy. Yeah. Me and John Boy in 12th with Matt Skulls. This one was coming on hard. That's what she's doing. We had Sabonis and Harden. And then we had Dame, Bam, Triple J, and Russ. Russ was dog due. But Harden, that's why I was so surprised he sat those last 4 minutes. And then let's go to NFL for a second. We did okay yesterday in the we had one lineup. JSN get to 750. But look at Overzet. Shout out my guy, Peter Overzet. Second place for 20K. Gino to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Sending it to OT. Bowers. That was a fun one. Fun slate. Anyways, we should have some good stuff tonight. They've got a bunch of contests here on the NBA street. So they split, because everybody's playing, they split the slate into 2 different, they got like an early slate and a late slate. So in the main one, we've got 10K to first. Why isn't it scrolling down? There we go. I hate that I can't see this that well. Hold on. I'm going to zoom out a little. These games end at 8:45. So the Knicks-Houston game is the last one on the slate. And then they have another one. I believe it's called Open Gym. And this one starts with the first game being the 9 o'clock tip of Charlotte, Minnesota, and the rest of the slate. And that one is 5K to first. So a lot of action tonight over on Underdog. Let's go find a pick 'em. Oh, I should have switched this. Time to hit floaty with that 20K. Yeah, I should have floaty good. Oh, Top Shot. Let's go to segment 5. Let's find a pick 'em. Anybody locked in on anything tonight? Feel free. You can throw some football in there too if you want. Sorry, I zoomed in on the wrong. Here we go. Zoomed in on the wrong one here. Anybody anybody NBA takes? Like, you want to see if we can find some Rudy overs right now? Let's see what Rudy, because that's where I would start. He's got how many boards? 11.5 rebounds. What if we bump this up to let's see if we can get 14 rebounds. Let's juice this up a little bit. 13.5 boards for Rudy. We can start there because he should have no problem rebounding the hell out of the ball. Anybody else got any takes for today? There's almost like too many games. What about Tatum boards? Or Tatum something. With no Jaylen Brown tonight. They should have everybody else good to go because nobody's playing on a back-to-back. Tatum's got 8.5 boards against Atlanta. Atlanta, who Okongwu sat last night. I think he's going to play tonight, but Atlanta on a back-to-back, 8.5 boards. Let's do it. Let's board, baby. Oh, Tatum PRA. All right, I'll go Tatum PRA. 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Yeah, this should be a fast-paced environment. I like that. Does Dame have a line actually yet? Lillard. No, nothing for Damian. Okay. Let's look at Mitchell, though. Let's look at Donovan Mitchell, 25.5 points. Let's up this. Oh God. Let's see if he can get 30 again. He didn't even shoot the ball well, and he gets a 30 in the last game. I just think there's going to be a ton of points on this. Trey Mann is always good. Dude, they've moved Trey Mann's lines too high, though. There's no Trey Mann? What's going on here? Because Brandon Miller is questionable, probably. That's why. I like this, though. What are we at right now? We've got 3 picks so far. We're at 12x for a 3xer. I mean, for what's normally a 6xer. People ask about Luke Cornett. My guess is we don't have Luke Cornett stuff yet. Yeah, no Luke Cornett stuff yet. Again, I think sometimes if they think there's some injury news incoming, they won't post those quite yet. I kind of like this, though. Does anybody else want to? Is anything else you want to throw in there? Do we just ride or die with this one? Let me make sure we have no. I'm not missing any. Okay, no presents, no boosts. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other games that I was excited about for tonight. Kelsey touchdown against Tampa Bay is kind of fun, but I'm not going to do it. Jordan Poole, 22.5 points against the Golden State Warriors. Oh wait, do you have a Bilal Coulibaly steals line? You know what? I'm going to keep Kuzma's out, right? Is Kuzma already out? We're going to continue to do the Bilal Coulibaly PRA. Bilal Coulibaly has just been the nuts lately. Hold on. I'm going to check on another tab here. I want to make sure that Kuz has already been ruled out. If he's questionable, I don't like this as much. I know he's missed the last couple of games, which is why I have been attacking it. Let's see. The Kuz. Kuz is already ruled out, so we're rocking with Coulibaly. I think if we do 4, we have to do 5. That's usually the rule. But what are we at right now? This is at 20x. Now let's leave it there. 15 to win 300. That's fun. All right. So I'll drop a link into the chat here. If you're following along at home, we got Rudy Gobert over 13.5 boards. We adjusted that line. Tatum over 44.5 PRA. Shout out to Common Man. Donovan Mitchell, we boosted his up to 30 points. And then Coulibaly, 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So I like that. Let's roll with that. Anything else you guys need to get into before we get out of here? We're going to wrap here in a few minutes. Got to take my dog to the vet. He's got some sort of like rash thing on his paws. It's probably allergies. It doesn't seem to hurt him, but he just, as you can see, he's just licking it constantly. Poor guy. Bandy, come on, bro. Making it worse, big dog. Just a reminder, we got Live Before Lock tonight, 5 o'clock. If you are one of the elite members, YouTube members over on the Elite channel, we'll have a live show, I think, either at noon or at 2. Noon or 2. I'm not really sure. Blame the New York streets. We're in like Queens, man. So we're not running into weird stuff too much, unless it was the park. It could have been at the park. I think I was doing some Googling. It's allergies. Yeah. I just get nervous because he's just going at it the whole time. And it's like, this is the dog corner here. It's definitely like a little red and infected, not infected, but like, it just looks irritated, but it doesn't like hurt him. Like he's still running around and being a psycho, but yeah, so I got to do that at some point today. What else we got going on? Stay tuned for some Hoop Sense stuff. That should be coming out today. I know I've been talking about it forever. Has the diet changed? No. I mean, he's been getting a little bit more peanut butter, honestly. Maybe that's what it is. Because we usually give him these cloves, and they've been like really hard to find lately. And so he's been getting peanut butter for a little bit of a treat instead of cloves. And maybe too much peanut butter. But no, you haven't changed his dog food or anything. What else? What did you guys get into this weekend? I did nothing on Saturday, and it felt so damn good. It felt so good. My poor wife has been working like crazy hours. She was working a wedding this weekend. But Saturday, I was just so burnt out from the week. I watched some dumbass documentary. And then I went and got dinner, and I was like, oh, I'll have some drinks and watch basketball out at a bar tonight. The second I ate my food, I was like, nope, I'm going home. I was like, in bed watching basketball at like 9 p.m. It was beautiful. More fresh pet food could help. All right. Yeah, we'll mess around. Thank you for the advice, regulator. All right. Looks like he gave up. He's laying down now. He's ready for a walk. We're going to call it there, gang. Hope everybody has a good day. See you at Live Before Lock, unless you're a member. Get in the Discord, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We got so much basketball tonight. Make sure you're on playback with our guy Weisberg and Sneeps tonight. I'm sure they'll be focused on the Celtics, but doing a little bit of a whip around. You know what I'm saying? All right, we out.